favour of United and New Zealand First in 2005, and from Labour's point of view, when the Green leader Russell Norman developed a relationship to a point where formal agreement could take place. The MOU only lasts until the election. The Labour leader Andrew Little says there has been an expectation from voters that opposition parties would work cooperatively together.
I think even at the party level, both the executives or committees of each party looked at all this. So having tried and tested, it is that, we work together, this can work, and together we provide a viable alternative.
Is there a risk for Labour?
The risk for Labour is the natural kind of alignment with the Greens, as even before we, and it'd be true to say that has been pretty. Say, I would have a sense of confidence if I could see your parties working together, or see opposition parties and providing that alternative. So we weigh that. In the end, politics is about ensuring that there is real choice, certainly when it comes to an election time.
But do you risk alienating quite a significant rump of centre voters that may be put off by the Greens, may not be that keen on the Greens?
So there are two things. I think there is always shifting in terms of shades of politics. The reality is the Green Party is a maturing party, and the relationship between Labour and the Greens has been a maturing relationship. So it's not about eating each other's lunch type. A fair amount of common ground, demonstrating they can work together, and also that in government they're be able to do. Offering stability and certainty is one of them. And one of the reasons I think we want to work together is to give people who might have some anxieties time to come to terms with it and to see the strength of our relationship being demonstrated.
How much debate within the caucus has there been about this move?
We've had good constructive discussion, and I think too, but a party that straddles a reasonably broad the political spectrum. So the no-go area, Stoppo cannot abide. No one expressed that view. We need to offer a viable alternative to the New Zealand. It's MMP. We will have to have coalition partners or support parties, and in the end, to take the steps that are going to build the public's confidence in our ability to offer an alternative government. That's what we've done.
But fair to say some in the caucus happier than others?
Like any issue in caucus, people who are more optimistic than others. But to New Zealand, to that, we have good relations that allow us government with its interest.
Taking of your call.
As that everybody has supported it, as I say, and I think as we've demonstrated under my leadership on issues that are seen from the outside as difficult for us. Students provide the right information, and in the end we've kind of got to this point.
Winston Peters is of course another factor in this as a potential partner. Have you had any discussions with Mr Peters about this? What's the
It's always been my judgment, and in fact I think Winston Peters has said publicly the election type of discussions that look like it's setting up a future government. But given the relationship with New Zealand First, that relationship that I've been working on, that our party has been working on, I owed it as a courtesy to him to let him know we've got to this point, so I did that. And I didn't expect to have a discussion with him. I wasn't entertaining views he might have had about it. I was letting him know that we got to this point, and said to him, it's not an exclusive arrangement. agreeing to work together. And leaders in New Zealand First, they very much will cut their own way. In the end, this is a public between Labor and the Greens to work together to change the government. It's our judgment that that is vital, and we have to offer that to the electorate as we go up to the 2017 election. What is in relation to any commitment to change the government, that's a matter for him and his party.
Is it a difficult juggle because on current polling and in past elections, Labor plus the Greens or Labor plus New Zealand First is enough? How are you managing that in terms of both keeping all of those options open?
Well, I think what the voters will now see is, with the agreement between Labor and the Greens, is that here are two parties who have made this commitment well out from the elections. So it's not just during election campaign time. So voters will see that choice, and the overwhelming feedback we had before this agreement and since is that people are saying, gee, now I see a picture, I can picture an alternative. I have confidence to kind of get back engaged in the political process again. So we'll see how this sort of plays out, but I'm confident that we will see support around this.
Can you see a partnership that would include both New Zealand First and the Greens?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the reality that the government needs to enjoy a broad level of support across the political spectrum ever since command and in fact both National and Labor know that they have to have as broad a possible support base as possible within Parliament. So it is absolutely in contemplation that in government, when it comes to a formation of a government, I get to have as broad a base as possible.
Winston Peters says it's a jack-up, Labor and the Greens going over and above the heads of these in a political
being public to work together to change the government, because that's what the agreement amounts to. We've been very open and clear about it. Just about cooperating with those things. It preserves the right of each party to do its own thing. I'm not sure I describe it as a jack-up. It's not behind closed doors. It's well on the and this is MMP, and I think we have a mature MMP electorate now for a real choice and understands that governments won't be formed around one party. It has to be a combination.
New Zealand First leader Winston told reporters at Parliament Labor could face a voter backlash.
Look, there's no doubt that the whole lot of Labor voters are going to be disappointed with us. That's a party that was formed in 1916, and look what's happened here to them.
Green Party ministers.
No, look, with the greatest respect, you see, unlike the rest, we're interested in maximising New Zealand First vote, and every effort, every comment, all our waking hours is focused on that and not what other people might be plotting and scheming.
The Greens have been actively pushing for a formal and public agreement from Labor. Co-leader Matiria Tude describes the EU historic.
I mean, this is the first time such a thing has happened, and it's really clear that when we do work well together, our respective support goes up because people can see the genuine alternative. I think it's taken a while for information to flow through and for that evidence to build up over time. So it's really important for both of us. This doesn't make us any less distinct from each other. I mean, we are no less independent as a result of this agreement. And that's really important to both parties, that we retain strong independence and our distinct values. But even parties that have more in common or less in common can still work together to form a coherent and credible government.
Is there a greater risk potentially for Labor rather than with some of the more centrist voters still be a bit leery of the Green Party and Green Party policy?
I mean, that's for them to consider. I know that in our research, more and more New Zealanders are wanting to support the Greens from us, that we will work pragmatically with the Labour Party and with other political parties to form a government. So I think that this agreement gives those more centrist voters greater certainty about the future. And that helps to build confidence, actually.
How flexible is your party when it only goes up to the election past the election as well. It has to be seen as that, otherwise policies.
We haven't had any, but except clear about Grant Robertson having the finance. Does say that we intend to bring credible and progressive alternative government. Move to that. Demonstrate
well, the public commitment is
challenges where we disagree and there's no surprises, that's all fine. Every incident that happens, no. The core issue here is that we need to work going on with each other's parties and where we have issues.
How do you see three parties, however, that may pull out with us? So either New Zealand is over a number of years to respect committees and things. Of a credible, progressive and